Number 5. The airplane house. Apparently, airplanes are not only good for flying across the ocean, but they also make for great living spaces. When an airplane reached the end of its flying days, it was brought to Costa Rica and was turned into a 2-bedroom home with amazing ocean views and the lush tropical rainforest. After all, you can only expect to have a lot of windows by transforming the cabin of a Boeing into your bedroom. If you look inside this home, Bruce Campbell, who's the owner of this house, will tell you it's still a work in progress. Bruce says jetliners can and should be transformed into wonderful homes. He spends 6 months on his Costa Rican home, while the other 6 months he spends them in Japan, where he also plans to transform another aircraft into another house. Well, best of luck to you, Bruce. It'd be really cool to see more airplane houses around the globe. Number 4. The Clock Tower House. Next on this list, a house inside a clock tower in one of the most iconic cities in the United States, Brooklyn, New York. This 650 square meter penthouse is one of the most expensive houses ever sold in the whole Brooklyn borough in New York. It was first listed at $25 million back in 2010 when it was put on the market. The price slowly did come down and it was finally sold at $15 million. Through the clock you can get a unique view of Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens, making it a very iconic spot for anyone who loves the Big Apple. I guess the owner of the house is never late to appointments. I mean, you can't be late when you live inside a clock, am I right? Number 3. The Flintstones house. And once again, another house inspired by things you watch on the screen. The Flintstones house. I guess some of you are a bit too young to know about this show, but back in the old days there was a cartoon and even some movies called The Flintstones. It followed the adventures of this peculiar family living in the Stone Age. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. The show is quite a phenomenon to the point that some fans out there decided to build a house similar to the one the Flintstones had. You can find this residence in Hillsborough, California, and it was even declared a public nuisance, and with such a unique look, there's no way you'll miss it if you ever drive by it. There are even some statues of dinosaurs outside, paying homage to the Stone Age setting in which the Flintstones lived. In early 2019, some neighbors gathered and asked the dinosaurs to be removed. They believe this house doesn't fit in with the rest of the fancy houses in the neighborhood, and well, these people just have no taste then. However, these hoity-toity neighbors won't have an easy fight. Florence Fang, the owner of this place, will do whatever it takes to keep this house up, with dinosaurs included. Maybe it's time the neighbors embrace this gem and learn to say, yabba dabba doo. I feel old just by saying that phrase. Now it's time for the day's best pick. The picture I have today gives us the illusion of underwater living. After all, water can be very calming and inspiring, and humans can never get enough of it, so why not live in it, am I right? I went in search for some of the most amazing houses that are connected to water, and I came across the Floating Seahorse. Number 2. The Floating Seahorse. The Floating Seahorse is a floating home off the coast of Dubai. It's inside a group of man-made islands called Europe that are part of a bigger group called the World. Each of these islands are smaller versions of countries from around the globe. The Floating Seahorse is part of Great Britain. Anyone living in it can enjoy waking up to the sound of calming waves and get lost on ocean views that will take anyone's breath away. At the lower part, it'll feel like you're actually living underwater and even have some tea while looking at a very exotic marine environment. Who needs a garden or something like that when you can have a coral reef? Since the Floating Seahorse has proven to be a success in the market, there are more floating houses being made. I guess Dubai really took it one step further when it comes to the concept of houses. This technology will surely come in handy if the end of the world includes massive flooding.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing love. Just try it, it really works.
Number 1. The Egg House. I told you I'd show you houses you wouldn't believe exist, and here's one that's really going to blow up your mind. The Egg House in Beijing, China. This odd piece of architecture was a man's response to China's rising real estate prices. When this man couldn't find an affordable home, he went out on the sidewalk and made this egg-shaped home. I mean, what else do you need for survival when you have a bed and a roof over you? And probably egg-shaped as well. He even has lights and books, probably based on eggs. The most impressive thing that it only cost him $964 to make it and is powered by solar energy. That's actually a pretty good steal right there. This story really shows us that we can make a home wherever we want as long as we're committed to it, and we don't violate property values. And for you, what is the most impressive house on this list? Would you want to live on any of them? Let us know in the comments section down below. That's our video for today, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.